A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. And in this particular session, as you all know, that this session is basically focused for the preparation of UGC NTA NET June 2024 examination and for paper 1. The unit which we are doing right now is teaching aptitude. And in this particular unit, we are already into a topic that is called as learning theories. So learning theories, this is the part 3 which we are doing for learning theories. We have already done two particular parts. This is part 3, and one more part 4 we will be taking to complete the learning theories. And definitely these theories is a sure topic, and this topic is given with a very simple explanation. And once we end this topic, you will be having the practice questions to evaluate yourself how to attempt this practice questions and exactly what will be the form. I'll be telling you very shortly. Now, in today's session, we will be seeing the 4 theories which are listed on the screen. That is Ericson's 8 stages of psychological development, Kohlberg's experiential theory, the Peter principle, and Ladd's sensory theory. These are the 4 theories which we are going to look today. So let's start with the first theory what we are here today for. So when we talk about Erickson's psychological stages, there are 8 stages. As you can see, these stages are reflected on the screen also. Just for your better understanding, I have numbered them out. But before we start this stage, basically what is this stages about? So it is, it is about the personality development in a series of stages. So you can see the child's personality from the infancy, sorry, from an infant to a old age or to a mature age develops, but that development is in series, the development is in stages, and we have this 8 stages with a series of age factor, right? Now, this theory describes not only this particular personality series or of stages, but it also talks about the impact, the effect of social experiences across the whole lifespan. So, whatever experiences we have across the whole lifespan, that is from the age of 1 or from an infant stage to the stage of, seniority and above, that is 60, 70, 80 plus, that social experiences, is then main agenda of this particular theory. So if you can see, for your better understanding, I've just created a quick table for you. So we have the stage, we have the conflict which happens with that particular stage, the virtue that is, associated with the stage, and how to get a description of it, how to realize that with the help of description. So infant stage is about trust versus mistrust, where you have a hope. Okay. Trust or mistrust is basically with the basic needs, such as, your affection, your nourishment, your which will be met. Okay. So it is like, if you remember, we have done Maslow's theory, the basic stage. That stage talks about the infant stage. Early childhood, which is from the age group of 1 to 3. Now, this all specific particulars you have to keep in mind, which talks about autonomy and shame or a doubt. That is, it talks about a desire, a will, and it develops a sense of independency in many particular tasks or a job. Coming to a play age, which talks about initiative, that is an initiation versus guilt, which has a reason, which has a purpose. So now it takes, like for example, initiativeness to take some activities, or a guilt when certain things are not, which are not happening successfully. So that is the age, it's called as play age. Coming to the next stage is the school age, between 7 to 11 years, where it is industry and inferiority with respect to this competency or skills, which develops a sense of confidence, self confidence. And when there is, it can be competent, or it can be the sense of inferiority when not. So like for example, what stages, I mean to say, when you come across certain social experiences, what type of experiences gives you confidence, what type of experiences brings you in for inferiority, is being dealt in this particular stage. Adolescence, that is from the age group of 12 to 18, which talks about identity versus confusion, that is fidelity. It talks about the roles, it talks about the identity, it talks about, your the mindset, which can be lead which can result into bit of confusion. And this is the major change which is happening not only in the human body, but also, with respect to a tender mind, where it can leave a lot of prints behind. So it should be very, very, very well tackled with care, alertness, and delicacies should be there. Early adulthood from 19 to 29, which talks about intimacy and isolation. It actually talks about the acceptance in the form of self acceptance or love. So you get into intimate relationships, you get, you are the one who, a social animal which actually wants an acceptance from the society. So it can come in any form. So wherever you get a amount of love, you get inclined, or you are much more attached to the person. Okay. Middle age, that is from the age of 30 to 64, that is generosity or stagnation, which talks about more of care, that is contributing to the society as well as to the family, where you're more responsible towards both of them. And then comes your old age, that is integrity or disparity, which talks about wisdom, which talks about making a sense of life, meaning of contributions. So yes, in this particular question, you may get the questions which may be based on the stages, which may be based on the ages, which may be based on the conflicts which you have, or a description. So basically they will tell you to identify the conflicts, or or the stages. You have to recognize the stages with the number of years, right? Going towards the Collapse experiential theory. Okay, so now what does this theory talks about? This theory talks about the styles. You have this four learning styles, which talks about which talks about the styles include diverging, that is it is about feeling and watching. It talks about assimilation, which talks about thinking and watching. It talks about converging, that is thinking and doing, and accommodating, doing and feeling. So you have to remember this, association very well. Now, what is this theory about? So in this Kohlberg's theory, we have, I mean to say, people have a tendency to have one of these four distinct styles, and which impacts the way they learn. So these styles will definitely impact how an individual learning. We are talking about learning, right? So it will definitely talk about what these styles will talk about your learning. Okay, it can be in the form of watching, thinking, doing, feeling. So any of these styles will definitely get into a picture. So talk about you may have the four learning styles also are dominant by your visual nature, auditory nature, reading and writing, and kinesthetics. So this is, it is basically talking about all these styles. So one by one, let's go through these styles and understand what these styles are all about. Okay. So when we talk about the first style, when we talk about, when we go through this styles, which I have already given you an idea about this four styles. Now let's reflect this cycle very well. Let's understand this cycle properly and understand the concept which is associated with what? Which is associated to your styles. So when we talk about diverging, that is feeling and watching. So people look at the things from different perspectives, right? So here they are sensitive. They prefer to watch rather than, just to do it, or, gather the information. So more of feeling and watching it's happening over here. People perform in the better in the situations that requires either generation of ideas. Like for example, maybe let us take an example like brainstorming. So this really makes them feel about it, and then watch, and then they feel about it, and then they start going ahead with their styles which have interest with respect to gathering of information. This can happen with the help of people who are working in groups, or people who listen to an with an open mind, or they have their own way of dealing with the things, right? When we talk about assimilating styles, which talks about what? Which talks about thinking and watching. It takes into consideration the logical approach, the concise approach, the clear explanation, thinking. So the clarity in the explanation, you can say it is very, very important when you approach to a specific thing, or you have a way of dealing with a specific thing. Then we talk about converging, that is with respect to what? It is with respect to doing and thinking. So you're doing, when I say, it means practically, handling the thing. It is you are doing, you want to learn by practicality, where you can, find a solution for a problem. Maybe that is not happening. So you may not let go it, or you may not just do it just by because someone is telling you. Practically, you will try to experience it. You will generate certain amount of your own ideas. You will try to have a practical applications and then go for it. Accommodating, that is feeling and doing. So basically, you means, it means hands-on experience. So feel, it means hands-on experience. You are going to go for a challenge or an experience where you feel that, okay, your gut feeling or your instinct tells you that, okay, I'll do this, and then I will, implement this in a proper way. So when we talk about these particular styles, okay, the learning styles, which I'd ratherly say, they definitely uh, you know able or help the students to develop more appropriate learning opportunities. So these styles, these styles are not only about how to, go for it. They definitely make a concrete experience by feeling it, or reflective observation by watching it, conceptualization by thinking about it, and active experimentation by doing about it. So ideally, when we talk about these types, okay, of learning or styles of learning, they are making sure that learners get a chance to engage themselves, and definitely go with something which suits them, which they are best at. Okay, so learning happens here by identification of a style, strengthening that style, and application of that style with the help of what? With the help of Kolber's experiential theory, right? Then going to the next is the Preter's principle. Okay, so this is the next style. So I know that, these things you may see, but we know very well what type of questions are coming, from where they are coming. So you should be very well aware of these questions and make sure that you are aware of this concepts also. So when we talk about the Peter's principle, okay, now when we say principle, it's basically nothing but a rule, right? So these principles will help any particular learner to learn very well, okay? And definitely will help them, to grow with respect to what in their concept, or, with respect to their uh, growth, or with respect to their development. So person who is able to, no, is competent, it's skillful, when he knows how to get his work done with respect to, whatever is allotted to him, whatever is his part of responsibility, and make sure that he is excelling in that. So if the if the promoted person, like for example, you want to promote some person, if he lacks the skills which are required for the new role, then he will be, definitely incompetent at that new level, and will not be promoted. So in that terms, it is very important that you understand what is required, what are the things which needs to be understood, and you need to be go ahead with that. So with respect to, like for example, it will help you to understand your level of uh, competency or incompetency, work on that, and then go ahead, right? So like for example, so there are four stages which can, which it goes through. Unconscious incompetency, which talks about your you're not knowing how to do a particular job. So without knowing, you don't know. I mean to say, without knowing, you cannot go ahead, right? Conscious incompetency, you still don't know how to do a particular job. You are aware of the gap, but you know, like, what is the gap, which what type of gap can help you, proceed towards improvement area, right? Conscious competency, which talks about, you can now do a particular job, but it requires lot amount of focus, right? And unconscious competency, you perform the job. This is achieved by repetitive practice. So yes, every one of us, obviously. Unconscious incompetence, it means where we start with our career, where we are completely blank, you can say, where we, after reaching to a specific point, we know what exactly is our root cause, what is the problem, Okay, after reaching to a specific height, we know that, okay, this is what I require to push myself, and at a certain period of time, you know that certain practice is required. So yes, once you are aware about these processes, it becomes very easy for you to go ahead in your professional career or in your learning journey, right? And then coming next to is your lad sensory theory. Now, this is basically a very simple topic. There is no such question yet seen on this, okay? But still, I just want that nothing should be left out and for you to understand the things. That's the reason I have taken this. So, basically, for learning, okay, to occur, there are five senses, okay, which are very basic. So, I've not described over here. I've just described over here as multi senses. So these five senses, it talks about your sight, okay? It talks about your hearing, okay? It talks about your touch, it talks about your smell, and it talks about your taste. So these five senses, okay, it suggests that if multi senses are stimulated, then there is a greater chance of learning taking place. And this was, not only stated, but obviously he has stated in his book Approaches to Learning and Development that learning occurs with the sense when the senses are stimulated. And which are these senses? These are multi senses. And what they include? The sight, the hearing, the touch, the smell, and the taste. So that is a research, okay? Research was done based on them. And yes, it was been proved that, students will enhance their learning if they know, if they are making the use of multi senses, which will definitely give them a great advantage while planning their lessons. And it has been tested and proved, right? So we have done the we have done the four learning theories today, that is Ericson psychological stages, where we have studied the 8 stages with the help of years and the description. Kohlberg's learning experiences, where we have learned four types. Then Peter principle, a very simple principle. What does it tells about? And the large sensory theory, right? Now, yes, how to go to or how to reach with this? So, first of all, for you all students who are preparing for June 2024 examination, we have brought a complete course, including live lectures, test, syllabus notes, your full syllabus mock test, 2000 plus MCQs, previous year questions, till 2023 with a price cost of rupees 2400. The actual price is 3000, but it's a discounted rate. You can also check in our global online app, download the app. This is how the app looks like with the help of Google Play Store. Register yourself with the registered mobile number, go to the course. Once you buy the course, you get an access to all the detailed videos, no time waste course wherein you don't have anything extra. Just focus on a course with the implementation of theory lectures, evaluation test, notes, mock test, and MCQ lecture. So this will help you to ensure that you are practicing things which are in sequence, series, and the way it is required for your preparation. So that's all for the day. You have the contact details given. Get in touch with us. And yes, have a wonderful learning journey for the next 5 months so that you are very much competent to give your examination in June 2024. That's all. Let us meet tomorrow with the remaining four theories. So there were 15 theories, out of which we have completed 11 theories. The four theories which are left, I'll be completing tomorrow. That's all for the day, everyone. Thank you very much and see you in the next class.